Hello Game Boys and Game Girls, I'm the Game Boy Guru, and welcome to another pickups video, or, much like last time, a partial pickups and partial arrivals video. I picked up a few things, but a lot of the stuff I got in the mail, so let's take a look. So I bought some Game Boy games because I'm working on a trade in a Facebook group, and I bought 3 Game Boy games that this particular user needed, and I'm working on having them secure one of my Game Boy heavy hitters that I need to knock off my list. And the store that I bought those Game Boy games at has a buy 4 get 1 free policy. So I was able to knock a couple of PSP games off my list. And that is Star Wars Battlefront Elite Squadron, finally. Most of the time I see that and it's either incomplete or in poor condition or just way overpriced. And also Death Jr. 2 Root of Evil. So a couple of slightly less common PSP titles that I was able to knock off the list. Also took part in another trade via Facebook and grabbed a couple of things here, a couple of Game Boy games. Got Romstar's World Bowling, which I didn't have. And while I'm not going for a variant set on Game Boy, this slightly unclean copy of Final Fantasy Legend 2 is the Sunsoft variant, which I didn't have, and because this one goes for a little bit more money, the fact that it was part of this bundle was a pretty good deal. Also got a stock Tetris cart thrown in there, so that'll go into my trade pile. Along with that, I got a couple of Game Boy Advance games. We got Spider-Man Mysterio's Revenge. And then also finally got a copy of Mario Kart Super Circuit, which I've heard is actually an excellent entry in the franchise. My buddy Single Banana, RF Gen fellow, Twitter fellow, and all-around good guy, hooked me up with a copy of Radiata Stories for PlayStation 2. A bit of an RPG here from the creators of Star Ocean. So looking forward to checking that out at some point. But very clean copy. And, manual is in pristine shape. And so, anyway, looking forward to checking that out at some point. Those of you who've been following my pickups for a little while know that I've kind of been trickling in PS4 titles while I've been preparing to actually own the console. And a lot of those have been shmups, and a lot of those have also been either limited releases or foreign releases. And I've got both here. First, I've got a limited run games release, which is Skyforce Anniversary. This is a console remake, if you will, or redux of what was originally the Skyforce game, which was a mobile game. But it got good reviews, and also it came with a little limited run tag here. I'm not going to show the number, of course, because I want to use it. And a nice little limited run card with the Skyforce Anniversary artwork on the front there. So I've heard good things about this, so I'm definitely going to give that a whirl. Also ordered something from Play Asia. They sent me this little sticker along with the package, and that is the PS4 physical version of Ghostblade HD. This is the Asian release, so it's got both English and I'm assuming either Korean or Chinese on the back there. I think it's a Korean release, to be honest. But yeah, cool game from what I understand. And I was going to buy the digital version on the Wii U eShop, but once I found out there was a physical release, I decided to go for that instead. So yeah, Ghostblade. I got a little bit of hardware as well. For those of you who don't know about them, there's a little outfit out of Canada called DB Electronics. They've been making some specialized hardware for game consoles for a while. Some stuff to kind of help with mods or things like that. And then also the two items that I bought. And I picked these up now because the word going around is that the gentleman who runs DB Electronics is actually going to be getting out of the game and moving on to doing other things. And so he's winding down production of these items. So I decided to get them before I couldn't. So the first item, I haven't taken it out of the bag yet, but this is a Sega CD RAM cart. And you can see the large battery there. It's a CR2450 lithium battery. And in the absence of an official Sega CD RAM cart, you can use this and save your games. And so I don't have much that requires it, but I know I've got an original copy of Lunar, the Silver Star, that I couldn't play realistically unless I left my console on for weeks at a time. So this will be nice to have for that ability to natively save. I just need to buy a cartridge shell to put that in. Similarly, I need to buy a cartridge shell to put this in, and that is the PowerBase Mini FM. And so, actually this is upside down. So this side here will plug into the Genesis, and on the top there's a cartridge slot that will work for the Sega Master System cartridges, and that will allow any games that are compatible with the FM sound module that was part of the Japanese and European Sega Master System models to play the FM sound. And when I found out that he was going to stop making these, I decided to grab one, but I did some looking, and I don't have that many Master System games, but the majority of the ones I do have support FM sound. And so I thought, well, I've been using my XI, my JVC XI as my primary Sega Genesis for a long time. This does not work with that. So I'll have to pull out my Model 1 Genesis, but this will give me the ability to play things like Fantasy Zone 2, Outrun, and some of the other really good Master System games I have with FM sound instead of just the standard PSG sound. So I decided to go ahead and splurge a little bit and get that because I've heard some of the FM soundtracks and they're pretty good. I went to a little bit of a mini Comic-Con thing that's kind of close to my hometown area, and I took my nephew, and it was a great time that we did today. Had a lot of fun, and got to do some fun things, sat in some panels with some artists, and saw a really neat cosplay show and all of that. A couple of the game stores I frequent had booths there, and after the con we went over to one of the stores and I picked up some Wii U stuff. Got some more stuff that I did not already have in the collection. One of those items is the somewhat elusive Funky Barn. Not a good game, but one that, because of its low production and low popularity, has now started to command much higher prices. Thankfully, because the case on this is in slightly less than perfect shape, this one was discounted and I got a really good deal on it. Also finally got a copy of Pikmin 3. It is the Nintendo Selects version and not the original retail release, but I do want to check this out at some point because I've been curious about this for basically as long as I've owned the Wii U. Finally got the original Amazing Spider-Man game. I've had Amazing Spider-Man 2 since sometime last year, but this has the Amazing Spider-Man game plus four additional game content packs, it says, which I'm assuming is just a fancy way of saying we packaged in the DLC that came on the other versions. And finally on the Wii U, one of those titles that generally costs a little bit more than what I want to spend, but because they were having a buy 3 get 1 free sale, I effectively got this game for less than I would normally pay for it, and that is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Finally got this on the Wii U. From what I understand, there is still an active online community for this game. I'm not much of an online gamer, so for me, this is more to complete the collection, and I might play through the single-player campaign on the Wii U just because. But it's kind of cool to know that there is still a multiplayer community for this game online, and that hopefully, because it will be a bit less populated than the PS3 and PS4 and Xbox communities, that I might not get owned quite so quickly if I decide to jump into that. The last item I have to show you is related to a couple of the items that I showed before, and that is that I finally went and got a PlayStation 4. Now, this is just the empty box right now. I actually have it plugged in and have already been using it because the RF Generation playthrough for March, as I'm recording this, is toward the end of March, but the RF Gen playthrough for March is Transformers Devastation. And so I decided to finally get the PS4 because Zag scored that copy of Devastation for me a while back, and I've been planning on getting one anyway for quite some time. I didn't get one over the Black Friday like I planned, and I didn't get one right after Christmas like I planned, and I kind of planned on getting one during tax time, and so I finally got a PS4. So now I can start playing these new shmups, and also played through Transformers Devastation, which I've been wanting to do for a while now because it's a platinum game, which I like, and it's just one that I wanted to do. And I didn't want to play the PS3 or Xbox 360 version. I wanted to play the next gen, now current gen version instead. So anyway, got a PS4. I gotta say, I'm enjoying it so far. I haven't jumped into anything online yet. And so far I've only played the one game, Transformers Devastation. The one thing that I'm less than excited about with some of the bigger games is the whole put the disc in, wait an hour for it to install, and then potentially wait another hour for it to download patches. I have a really good internet connection, so I'm hoping that it means it'll take a little bit less time, but I'm not looking forward to that. But with some of these smaller games like Ghostblade HD and Raiden 5 and Darius Burst Chronicle Saviors, I'm hoping that I won't have quite that kind of issue. Matter of fact, Transformers Devastation appeared to actually play from the disc because it didn't ask me to install the game. I put the disc in and it just booted the game. So I'm assuming it was a small enough game that it just ran it from the disc and kind of buffered data in as I was playing, which is pretty cool considering that everything that I've heard about PS4 and Xbox One is that nothing plays from the disc and you have to install the game. But it didn't seem to be the case with Transformers, so maybe some of these smaller games that I'm getting physically will behave the same. I'm assuming something like this Star Ocean game I have here will probably require an install because it'll be big enough. But as much of the smaller titles and shmups and things as could potentially stream from the disc, as far as I'm concerned, better. Because then I don't have to mess around with all kinds of waiting around to install stuff. That's all I have to show you this time. I've got some other stuff I'm expecting in the mail. And, you know, I kind of go out here and there to do pickups. Not too much right now because I'm still kind of trying to set up a new place and still needing to make trips back to the old house so I can finish cleaning it out and getting all my stuff out. But I will continue to make pickups videos as I compile enough stuff here like I did over the last 2 or 3 weeks. and show it off to you guys. So what do you think? Anything in here that you guys think I should be playing right away? Anybody else collecting niche titles on the PS4, like shoot 'em ups like this, or buying imports or limited run stuff? Let me know in the comments section, and let's see what you think. What about heavy hitters? I know on the Game Boy, like I said, I'm working on a deal on a Facebook group trying to score one of the heavy hitters that I hope to be able to show you guys here within the next few weeks or so. And any of you guys working on collecting any of the big titles for any particular consoles, more expensive games, more rare games? Let's discuss in the comments. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at GameBoyGuru. I'll have a link in the description below to my blog where you can read all my Game Boy game reviews. That is GameBoyGuru.blogspot.com. And also make sure you check out Nira and his channel. He provided the Super Mario Land overworld music that I use as the intro for all my videos. And he's got a bunch of other great game music and chiptune covers on his channel as well. Also, I don't like to beg for likes and subscribes, but if you do like this content, at least please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to my channel so that I can provide you with more fun content like this. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for playing, and game on.